It's Lori. Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin. And I'm coming to you, we're going to pretend it's still Thursday, January 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Because that's when I was still restarting my phone, so hopefully we have volume. And we do, awesome. All right, let me get my other device set up here. One says upcoming, one says live. So I just never know. So, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's dive into a couple of our standard announcements quickly. You can find all the Stampin' Up! Updates, surprises, upcoming events, new products, join offers. I'm just saying there's a neat one coming up along with a new tool. You can find all those things at my website, latenightlory.stampinup.net. Looks like the last thing on my January schedule is our Zoom team time meeting. So those of you on my team, Sunday, 2 o'clock. I didn't get the Zoom link out today either. So we're working on it. Trust me. I'll get to that in a minute. But Coffee and a Card next Wednesday. We are in the midst of a deep freeze here in Wisconsin. Alley Cat's Crafts. Welcome. I don't recognize your name. Is this your first time here? But I am definitely a late night stamper. I'm a night owl. So, Coffee and a Card next week, Wednesday, because we're in our deep freeze here in Wisconsin. And I think I forgot to say, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, but Wisconsin, we are going into deep freeze mode. So I have to tell you, I have been on my feet crafting since 3 o'clock this afternoon. I am participating in this virtual card retreat. If you are not doing this virtual retreat, or if you've not done these with Stampin' Up!, let me tell you, this one is jam-packed with lots of stuff. I didn't get through all of the cards. I kind of kept up through most of them, but I didn't have all my stuff prepped. I know that's a big surprise, but we are doing some really fun cards. We did this one today, this one, this one. I laid it out different. That's why I had to think. Did I do that one? I think we did. I think we did that one. We did this one and this one. We did like 7 of them. And this one. Oh, and this one I just watched on this last one. It was a lot. It was a lot. And tomorrow is the second day. So if you've not done this virtual retreat, you can still purchase it. It is still available while supplies last. All of the videos from the live are getting recorded. They will be downloaded and then uploaded back into the private Facebook group. So you'll be able to watch them virtually on demand at a later date. If you purchase it now or tomorrow, you're probably not going to get approved into the platform because those things kind of take some time. But if you're interested in that, let me know, or you can go to my store and purchase that. Paper Pumpkin, if you're not a subscriber, you might want to think about it. It's everything you need for a choreographed crafting experience. Everything you need is in the box. I've been mentioning the last few nights, if you subscribe through me by February 10th, I will gift you, I'll put your name in a drawing to gift you a set of dies. I bought 1 extra set of dies on purpose. These coordinate with a quarter of the kits. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. This one coordinates with January, February, and March. The January kit uses this postage die. I did make just a quickie little sample so you could see the font of the scripted word beautiful is beautiful. And it's all one piece, so you don't have to worry about losing that little dot. And the tulip is a 3D sort of thing because it's got a back layer and a front layer, and you one swipe and you cut that out. So, Paper Pumpkin, public service announcement there. January product of the month. You can get this stamp set. We've used it a few times. I have mine. I love the casual script on here. Oh, Allie, I just saw you've been watching for about a week now. Well, I'm glad you're chiming in because that's what it's all about. Let's just share and chit chat. And you've probably discovered I'm a putsy stamper because this is my relaxation time. This is when everything's kind of winding down for the day, and I can just come in here and relax and share some crafting time with my peeps. So this is a product of the month. This is a new program, Stampin' Up! Started in December. This is our second month. The first month was Designer Series Paper. This month it's a stamp set. I don't know what it's going to be next month, but if you purchase $75 worth of product before tax and shipping, you have the option of adding this to your cart for just $5 more. Okay? And every month it's going to be a different product. You have a limit of one each of the month's products. All right, so it's not like you can buy one in December and you can buy that same one again in January. It doesn't work that way. One, okay? Last announcement, I think, is bonus days. They're running by fast because it's already now the 23rd of January. Can you believe that? We're 3 weeks into January already. Crazy. Through February 2nd, we've got bonus days. There's no more celebration. So bonus days is an awesome option because when you purchase $50 and every increment of $50 after that, you get basically double. Hey, Juju. You basically get double the Stampin' Rewards. So you'll get your 10% Stampin' Rewards that you would normally get on a purchase of $20 or more. But when you hit $50, then you'll get a $5 coupon to use next month. So I'm calling this our Earn It and Burn It Club because you're going to earn it this month through February 2nd. And then you need to burn those coupons or use them up between February 3rd and the 28th. Great deal. All right, on to the main event, if you will. So last night we did this card. So Allie, if you've been here, you saw this last night. I don't know if I finished all of the things, but I attached everything in here last night. I don't think I really did anything different. I don't remember if I did this after or not, but I used that image to do some ink blending on the inside. And then I put another one of those little sprigs on there. So that's really fun. It's a fun suite of products. I like the paper. I like the earthy tones. So let's do another one. I am going to play it lazy again. I got this, luckily I got it prepped last night before I went to bed. And I knew I was going to be doing that retreat all day today. So I got this stuff ready last night. We're going to case another card, maybe two. We'll see how time flies. But we'll see how it goes. So Allie, Juju just introduced herself. She's from Mississippi. She does junk journaling. You've probably heard that throughout the week if you've been just kind of hanging around casually. Where are you watching from? That you're a night owl. All right, we are going to be using more of this Nature Walk paper. Yep, Nature Walk. I showed all of these again last night, so I'm not going to do that again because we saw them already. Texas, awesome. And let's see. If I write that down, I might remember it. I had a note from somebody. Oh, here we go. I had a note from somebody the other day. Because if I write it down, sometimes I can remember. And what kind of crafting do you do? because you say crafts. I like that alley cat. So how bad is it supposed to be for you tomorrow? Because I wasn't sure how far south any of that was going. Vicky, how in the world are you? Are you back home finally? We were just getting introduced to Allie from northern Texas. So Texas is going to get it bad too, huh? We're super frigid here. Wind chill is going to be pretty horrendous. Most of, I think probably all the schools, but most of the schools have already announced that they were closing a day or two ago. And we didn't get snow. We got a little bit overnight, but not a whole lot. But I think, Juju, you're supposed to be getting like ice storm, right? Is Texas getting the same thing? Yeah, when you're in a location where you're not normally getting winter weather, it really shuts things down. So, sorry you folks are getting stuff you're not used to. We're kind of used to it here, but it doesn't mean I like it. All right, I'm not a winter person. All right, so here's what we're doing. We need to decide if we want to use this paper or this paper for some foliage pieces. So I will cut those out. So do we want darker or lighter? So Vicky, you're late getting going because your dog, oh no. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I figured you, as soon as I saw skunk, it was sprayed. We had a skunk going around our house and I could smell it inside my studio. It's like, oh, the skunk's out there. And then I would catch them on my trail cam outside. They're bad news, but I've never had to clean up after one. What did you actually end up using? I know they used to say tomato juice, but I don't know if that really works. So you're still with your son helping out. Yeah, so you're an hour ahead of us because it's 12:15 in the morning by us. So, ugh, sorry to hear about that. Oh, Allie, you do all kinds of stuff. Cards, junk journal, sewing, crochet, oh, diamond arts too. And you have the full-time job of caring for your husband. Then you need your crafts for your quiet time, right? Ugh, ice and snow. Well, I wish you luck with that skunk smell, Vicky. Ugh. All right, so we'll need to decide if we want dark or light foliage on here. I have a couple of pieces here that we're going to stamp our image on, and we're going to cut these out with a different die. The one that I lost for a bit, but then I found it. I lost this one, but then I found it. That was a little disheartening because I had already gotten them. I mean, I had just recently gotten the dies and then I lost one, but it was just buried. I knew it couldn't have gone far, but I was afraid I might have thrown it out. And it had already been like garbage day. And I thought, oh, if I threw it out, I'm never getting it back. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp these. So this is soft sea foam, and I think I'm going to use Mossy Meadow on here because I think, it might make a difference as to which one we decide to do, but we'll see how this looks. Mossy metal needs a little rejuicing. So Juju, I did not have your live running at all tonight. I was doing that online retreat. And it was a treat, but whoa, that was a lot. That was definitely a lot. And we're gonna go like this. Yeah, we had just enough snow that MacMan could shovel it, but not enough to use the plow. And then this one we're going to use the Pretty Peacock. I think that'll go with either one. That'll go with either one. All right, I gotta grab my chamois too. Oh boy, that's a lot longer than you originally thought, Vicky, isn't it? I didn't realize he was gonna have a second hip surgery. Wow. Well, it's so nice that you're able to go out and help him out with his family, with the grandsons, right? Both 2 grandsons, I think is what I remember. Oh, has it been that long already? Holy cow. Man, that's a long time. That's 5 months I had to use my fingers. Oh, there's a boy and a girl. Sorry, my memory's not so good. Well, it's good, but it's short. Sometimes it's good. All right. Well, I bet the kids like you having you there. I'm sure your son does too. But I'm sure the grandchildren like having you there. You probably spoil them to pieces. So that's really dark. I wonder what it would look like stamped off. Probably not nearly as pretty. I probably like the darker one better. All right, so let's cover these up before I make an inky mess. And then let's wash this off too. Now I'm looking at the catalog and I didn't look at the recipe for this one. I have the recipe printed, but I didn't look at it yet. So we'll see if we can figure this out on our own. So let's go ahead and cut this out. I did a new plate for my Bossy Bessie. So that bottom plate was so bad, I finally pulled out a new plate today. I broke down, brought a new plate out. I don't know if I'll have to take this down though. Hopefully that'll stay. So what do you gals do when you have to do a new plate or new plates? I usually try to keep one always as the top and then the bottom one that gets all wonky. This used to be my top plate, but I was using it tonight. But it used to be my top plate. So it's got just a little bit of warp to it. I've been using it for quite a long time though. But I'll change the top plate so that it becomes my bottom plate, and then I'll get a new top plate. So I'm only replacing one plate at a time. For me, it works. That's pretty. All right, I'll be right back. that stuff laid out, just not cut out. Alright, well, this is not cooperating with me, probably just because I'm tired. Mac Man came in and he says, what is this, like a marathon? Yes, it is like a marathon. I think that's what he asked me. The virtual album retreat from last May was really intense too, and that was 3 days. So, Allie, you do the same thing. You switch the top one to the bottom and just keep going. I think it seems to make the plates last longer, you know? I don't know if I use this or not, but I'm going to cut it out anyway since I have it stamped. Why not, right? Ooh, I almost put that dye in the garbage. What was I thinking? All right. Then, did we decide if we're doing light or dark? I think this one will work better for here. Maybe I should just cut these out quick and see which one looks better. Third time's a charm. That's pretty. Let's do this one. Maybe we'll end up doing 2 cards of the same thing, just different colors. Who's crafting where you're at? Anybody else? I don't know why that's there. All right. So the sample shows, I think, crumb cake. And then it shows this little stamp here on some two-tone cardstock. And I'm guessing it might actually be crumb cake two-tone. And I've got the pecan pie two-tones. We might have to do that. Let me look to see if I have a sample sheet. Ooh, I might have some from the retreat though. This is all my extras so far from the card retreat. Guess what? We have some two-tone cardstock. It's only printed on one side because they gave us the light and the dark on a single sheet. Oh, so you're covering a box, Juju. Nice. All right, so This might not be wide enough for what we're doing, because it's supposed to be the whole width of the card. But I suppose if we did, we could do just a thinner stripe. Let me get that other piece. Maybe that other piece would be better. That's the same color. All right, we're going to cut this down and see how it looks. So we'll do 4 1/4. I'm going to separate these down the middle. And we'll do 4 1/4. And we're supposed to tear these. All right, so you're preparing a card. For a video later today. Oh, from the January Paper Pumpkin. Yeah, I don't usually do like mass amounts from a paper pumpkin because I don't need that many cards. So do you do that on YouTube or Facebook? All right, so we'll just tear off just a little bit. So hopefully you can see the difference there. And then we're going to use, let me grab, we could do pecan pie or crumb cake. Crumb cake, I think, is what's in the sample. I don't have any of the two-tone cardstock and crumb cake. I might have to add that to my shopping cart. So let's see. All right, so this is the tint, which is the lighter color. I think if we do the pecan pie, it's going to be too dark. Oh, Vicky, I'd be lost without a die cutting machine on a trip. Unless I'm just doing kits where they're all die cut already. Oh, that's nice, Allie, that you do them for your church. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There are several demonstrators that do that. Do a lot. Maximize it. All right, so let's just see how this looks. If we're just kind of randomly making this look kind of antiqued, it might look better with the pecan pie. Vicki, we call that fussy cussing here. Oh, did I do crumb cake again? I think I did crumb cake again. Instead of pecan pie, pumpkin pie. Oh, that's really dark. What's it look like when we stamp it off? I think stamped off. Yeah, fussy cussing. All right, we're going to do pecan pie stamped off unless anybody objects. So this was crumb cake, which has kind of some green hues to it. The browns have the green tint to them a little bit. This is pecan pie full strength, and this is pecan pie stamped off. Does anybody object to stamped off? I think that'll work best. Yeah, Fussy Cussing came from Juju. She likes to make me fussy cut because she knows that's not my, it's not my forte. Of course, I don't know that I really have a forte. Yeah, the stamped off one I think is the best. All right, so we are just going to randomly stamp this to make it look kind of antiqued-ish. I don't know how much I should have on there. That one got a little crooked, whoops. And then I'm gonna spritz this a little bit because we're gonna wrinkle it up. I think this is water in my spritzer. Let's cover this up. All right, so we're gonna distress this. I don't do this very often, do I? I kind of rat up the ends, but I don't very often wrinkle up the paper. But spritzing it sure does make it easier to manipulate. So those of you just getting here, feel free to join in the conversation. We are making a mess. All right, so let's put this back over here. So if we put this here, it's a little bit smaller than what it shows in the catalog. I could have used it a little bit wider, but I think that'll work as it dries. Way to go, Juju. Oh, that's a good idea, Vicki. All right, so here's the start of our card. And I'm just thinking, you know how we did this hashtag? I wonder if we should make another layer with crumb cake and do the hash marks on there too. We'll see how that looks. It looks a little plain. But you know, crumb cake used to be one of my go-to colors all the time. And now I hardly ever use it. Since we got pecan pie is my go-to now. All right, we're just gonna hash mark this a few times. That's the one I used last night. I wish they would have given us a couple of those, because it would make doing this faster. Almost done. 2 more swipes. I suppose I could have brought the die cutting machine up to the table. I didn't have that much stuff on there. I probably could have done that, huh? Oh well. All right. Of course, the last one doesn't want to let go. All right, so if we put that on there, we could rough up the edges of this a little bit. It'll be a little different from the sample, but that's kind of what casing is all about. Copy and slightly edit. But copy and share everything is nice too. So Allie, what time are your videos on YouTube? And I'm guessing it's Alley Cat Crafts or Alley Cat's Crafts. Yeah, the craft paper is nice. I kind of miss working with that. So we could probably cut this a little bit narrower now. We'll see. We'll see what we think. All right, so the sample in the catalog looks something like this. I think we need a little pretty peacock. I think we need this softened up a little bit. That's a lot of bright white there. And I didn't re-ink this. I don't wash out my brushes. And I think that still has some ink in it from last night. But that was just a little too bright for me. There, I think that's better. Whew. All right. So this is a lot of foliage too. We could probably trim some of that off. So if we put this here, that in the middle distressed, that, there's a lot going on in this card, don't you think? It didn't look like that much in the catalog, but again, this piece of paper is a little bigger. I wonder if I should do 2 pieces and have them layered. And then this with the sentiment. And the sentiment looks like it's on Secret Sea, which is kind of a weird combination. So do we like that darker one or the lighter one? And do we think that's too much foliage on there? You'd leave off the one with the white. The lighter one or the darker? That actually looks kind of cool. Hello, Robert. How are you tonight? All right, so there's that version, and then, well, I guess I don't have any ribbon on that one. There's a ribbon on a different one. And then for sentiment, they have on there, I like you lots, but I don't really have anybody I would send that to that says I like you lots. But we could do hello. You like that darker one, Vicky? I kind of like that darker one too. let's do hello. Oh, I gotta go grab blocks too. And then if we used pecan pie, or not pecan pie, if we used Pretty Peacock as, here, I thought I had a piece. We could use Pretty Peacock for the sentiment and emboss it on there. Maybe emboss it in white. So do you go live or do you record them and then upload them? Yeah, some of my time when I was trying to upload stuff, it would take forever. All right, so let's get, I don't want clear. Okay, you record them and upload them. That's what I used to do, but then my phone ran out of memory and I got a new phone and there still wasn't memory, so that's why I decided to just to start doing lives. So do we think white or gold? And at the time, I didn't have enough people on Facebook to go live there, so I just started going live on YouTube. I figured, take a stretch. Gold. Yeah, I'm thinking the gold. That's a lot of storage on your phone. Woohoo! I thought mine was supposed to have a lot, but it just didn't. All right, so let's put gold there. And Susan, welcome. I don't know if there is a minimum on YouTube because I don't think there is because I had only, I don't know, maybe 30 some followers on YouTube when I started going live. So I don't think YouTube at the time, at least, I don't think they had a minimum. Juju, do you know? Yuda, welcome. All right, I have like just a lot going on here tonight. I did not craft here. Oh, is it 50? You know, I know I only had 30 something on YouTube at the time. I know it's 100 for Facebook. Okay, so no minimum for YouTube. Okay. Little noise here. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? That gold sure is impressive when it sets. Yeah, I did not do the virtual retreat at this crafting table. I did it at a different crafting table where I had more space. There was a lot of stuff going on there too. And I have all of the stamps for that out on blocks so that I don't have to get them in and out of the case. And then, whoops, the dies I put on a magnet sheet because these are for the retreat too. And I feel like there's embossing powder in there. But yeah, we were busy all day, so I knew I didn't want to put that stuff all away, so. But I had all this stuff out. Where did my embossing buddy go? Let's move this out of the way. We'll need that tomorrow. All right, let's just cut these out and see what they look like. Oh, I do like the virtual retreat. I did the virtual album retreat in May. So when this one, excuse me, when this one came up, I knew I was going to do it. Even though some of the cards on the preview, I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if that trips my trigger. But in person, they're really quite impressive. I'll be posting some pictures in time. Okay, Juju, you're probably going to tell me I need to fussy cut these, huh? The sample is fussy cut, so. I see some of these gals just zip through fussy cutting. And that's not me. And then I realize that I stop talking when I'm fussy cutting because I don't want any of those cuss words to come out of my mouth. Thanks, Juju. So this actually would probably have to go like off to the side. Do we like that combination? See, Ellie, they like to see me struggle and then they laugh at me, and then when I don't keep track of the comments or if I get behind, then they're laughing about me. And of course, the comments are a little delayed. So, I mean, there's been some nights here that I've actually been belly laughing because they'll just give me little snippets of what they want me to do. And then I've already forgotten what the question was. Juju's laughing. It's all in good fun. I don't have a problem with that. You gotta be able to laugh at yourself sometimes. All right. Well, that didn't take too long. Luckily, it's small. All right, so is this too much foliage on there? Does anybody have the catalog? Have you looked at the sample in the catalog? What do you think? Or let's bring in the clowns. All right, so if we did see this one, I have the two-tone cardstock on, so this one might work a little bit better. So let's do a little tearing here. I love it too, actually. It's very fun. All right, that kind of works. And then let's see here. Oops, let's straighten this up a little bit more. Behave. All right. And then here, let's just sample this out and see how this stamp looks. Now there's another cool stamp with the Retreat. Maybe we should use this. This is from a new set that's coming out, I think. Is that the new set or the exclusive set? Oh, this might be the exclusive set. But it's got like words. Distressed words. So there's full strength. There's stamped off. I think the stamped off on this one might look best too. What do you think? Was a stamp in the annual catalog. Which stamp? This one or the stamp set that they're using for the Retreat? The stamp sets that they're using for the Retreat are this one, which is exclusive to the Retreat. So it's not in any catalog. You can't get it outside of the Retreat. This one is in the mini catalog. This is from the Nature Walk in the new mini catalog. And then some of the other stamps we're using are from this Forever Florals, and this is a sneak peek product. So I'm not sure if it's going to be an online exclusive or if it's something coming out in the new catalog, but this one is from Nature Symphony. So all of these are Nature Symphony. Oh, I could have probably used that wood one too. But there's that. And then this die would be an overlay. Do I have that die off the sheet? I don't. But there's a die that would actually probably add extra texture to there. Let's just take a look at that. That's the last die on the sheet. Oh no, that's got edge. So it's got an edge cut on there, so it would actually cut out the circle, so or the log. I don't want to use that. Oh, Juju, you should send me some pictures. I had kind of let that slip my mind that you were getting your craft room redone. And is your craft room kind of separate from the house, or is it just like an open dining area or something? Oh, of course, we would never tell him that. That would be silly. Oh, this has to go back over here. All right, so let's do a little random stamping on here. And we're going to stamp off again. Oh, I guess that one got a little crooked too. Oh well. Juju, you had some stamps similar to this that you were putting on some of your pages the other day, I thought, didn't you? Just to kind of distress it a little bit. All right. Oh, okay, because it sounds like, you know, when you're live, it sounds like there's a lot of activity in close proximity. All right, we're gonna mist this to make it easier to scrunch. Oh, I know. See, that's why before I had my crafting space that I have now, I had to do it in my dining area. I didn't have a dining room, it was a dining area. So it was just, it's an area that's kind of attached to the kitchen, but where I cook, but, well, where I sometimes cook. But it's separated by like a countertop. So I much prefer having a designated space because I used to have people come on in and, you know, walk through the living room to get to the kitchen area so that we could set up extra tables because we didn't have enough space at a table. And then I'd have to clean. Now, all they get to come in and see is all the crafting stuff. So, and the jaunt across the hallway to get to a bathroom, they can't see if the house is cluttered or not. I didn't want to get this too wet because this is, whoop, see there? That's why I didn't want to get it too wet. This is two-tone cardstock, so it's a little thinner than the regular cardstock, so it tears easier. But that'll be all right. That'll be fine. All right. So this one will kind of go here then. Now I don't have the separate layer here because this piece of designer series paper that we just made, that we just created, is bigger. So then we could go like this. Or maybe like this. And I just, where part of this wasn't die cut all the way because I was at the edge of the paper, I just tore that off. It'll be fine. And then we could do this, or we could do a darker one again, like here. Or I could just do it in the Pretty Peacock cardstock, which is what they did in the sample. They used solid cardstock. I just used the designer series paper because I thought it looked cool. Can you see all the different colors in there from the designer series paper? So this was designer series paper. Now I could cut this piece with just the plain old cardstock. So I'll go back out a little bit. Because I think this one might be too light. Those colors don't seem to work for me. So I'm going to cut this out of the darker one quick. Oh, thank you, Vicki. Yeah, safe travels. So that's kind of pretty that way. And then because there's so much light in there, that one might look better there. And then we can use the brass. Those brass embellishments. The brass pentagons, or we could use some of these. I think these look better. They look more rustic, kind of like the card. All right, so let's see. If I did dark on the bottom layer of the card on the left, All right, so if you did dark on the bottom layer of the card, like this layer, or added a new layer. But if you did dark on the bottom layer of the card on the left, it would maybe pop. So you're thinking another layer under here? The leaf. So this leaf or these leaves? Dark layer on the bottom of the card on the left. All right, I'm not getting it. This is where you guys start making fun of me and laugh. So this leaf, change the order of the leaves. So the lighter one on the bottom and the darker one on top. And then this one. Because this one was on the bottom. And then I had this one. And then I had this one. Darkest to light. So put this one on the bottom. Because that's the darkest one. And then this one and that one. What's a consensus? Dark, light, medium. Hello. Do we need to make this piece smaller? Sorry, I don't like the lightest leaves. Yeah, that's why I was kind of hiding it. It's kind of hiding it. What if we just left it off? See, this one looks not natural to me. This one looks more natural. So what if we found another piece of the DSP that gave us some similar but different colors? Let me look. Ooh. What if I did the leaves in that? Let's give it a whirl. All right, hold that thought. Oh, those are pretty similar. But if we kind of took these apart. Let me do the lighter version of this. Okay, what if What do you think of those together? Almost intertwined. Yay or nay? 24-page mini album. That's pretty cool, Yuta. All right, what are we thinking? Are we happy with this one? Because I'll start putting that one together. Or do we want to take this piece off and layer this underneath so it looks a little more organic? So this one you like, Allie? And I think I want to put another layer onto here because I think that'll look better. Let me go get some more pecan pie, or what if we did something like that? We could do a little pecan pie blending on there. Let's see how that looks. Pecan pie. We'll make it more the color we want. And this is from that same Nature Walk paper pack that we were just playing with for these foliage pieces. Oh, I don't know why I'm moving my ink pad. Good night, Yuta. Thanks for popping in. Congrats on your accomplishment of that 24 pages. That seems like a lot to me. Excuse me. All right. What do you think of that addition? I'm working up an appetite here. Well, Allie, you have to just cut it up and use it. But I have to admit, I'm kind of a paper hoarder as well. Oh, that's pretty. I need to have it. And then you don't use much of it. But since I've been doing my lives every day, I use up a lot more of my things, which I love. So yeah, if you see designer series paper and that's not quite the color you want, change the color. All right, I wonder if a little blending on here would make a difference. Not a lot, just to give it a little more personality. Can you tell I like ink blending? All right, let's see how that looks. I think that kind of sets that off a little bit. What do you think? All right, let's start laying some of this stuff down, right? Okay, we got this to go over here. Let's start. And I'm not going real close to the edges, and I think I'm going to put some little mini dimensionals in the corners. Just to kind of force them up a little bit. I put little labels on my take your pick tool so I know what tip is in it. Because I've got the weeding tip in one, I've got the spatula in one, and then the pointy tip in one. All right, that should be good. And then this, I think I'm going to trim it just a little bit narrower, kind of like we did with last night's card, where we just put it so it was inside the roughness of the bottom layer. So let's do 1/8 of an inch off of there and see how that looks. Now when I do my 1/8 inch, I'm definitely going to put the blade partway into the paper because I know it would hang up on these other edges. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of ink on the side of here. Hopefully that was enough. Nope. All right, it's going to be too narrow. It's just about enough. I think that'll be good enough. I probably should have made it just a little bit narrower. Oh. There we go. Just another smidge. Oh, so now you have some inspiration. Nice. Isn't that a nice surprise? Oh, I've got that. Of course, sometimes I've done that only because I got an order and I go to put stuff away and it's like, oh, I already had that. Whoops. All right, so we decided we're going to do these and we're going to do a few of these leaves on dimensionals. I think the rest of those we could probably just glue. And I'm going to try to keep these together how they are because I kind of like that. Oh yeah, I've done that numerous times where I've gotten something. I almost got something 3 times because I couldn't find it. It's like, oh, I thought sure I ordered it. Really, I thought I ordered it. I can't find it. Well, I guess I'll order it. I must have just not gotten it. And before I ordered it for the 3rd time, it's like, wait a minute, I'm going to look here. Because I was moving stuff like when I have to scoop things when there's going to be people in the studio and I've got stuff all over the table. And then I have to scoop it and relocate it briefly. I found it and I had it twice already. So luckily I didn't order it a 3rd time. These are actually kind of delicate. And this little dimensional. Separated that leaf. All right, now I think I need a little bit of extra security here. I thought I put some glue on there, but okay, so that's pretty good there. And then this piece, we could probably use an adhesive sheet right down the middle, or an adhesive strip, I mean. Right down the middle. They should have these adhesive sheets in black as well. All right, and let's put some brass pentagons on here. And these come in 2 sizes. Greenery Lane I did not get yet. Doesn't mean I won't. I had a very similar set to that one. Was it Forever Fern? Oh, I think I need to secure that too. All right. Yep. 1, 2, 3. I need one more. 5. Let's do another larger one. I do not keep all of mine. I did for a long time. When I was more, I think I'm going to put that over there. When I was more of a hobbyist, before I started getting more customers and a team, I kept them all. But I found that I would buy things and then I would never use them. And I was just thinking of all of the investment that I've done in these, supplies. And it didn't make sense to keep them all because why do you keep buying the new stuff if you haven't used up the old stuff? So I did start selling some of my things at a vendor event that my upline does. And I clear them out because I still have a few of the old green labeled stamp sets. So I'm trying to get that stuff out of here. And it was really quite freeing that I wasn't so overwhelmed with so much stuff. Now, the other thing you have to consider is that I not only had my things, but I also had my mother's things because we had built an addition on our home, which is how I ended up with the studio space, because we converted 2 bedrooms into a room and a half for the studio space, and we added in a separate entrance. So I had all of her things when she passed away as well. So I had a lot of stuff. For your pre-order stuff, Juju, if you go out of your page and back in, you should get a pop-up message to look at the pre-order stuff. Because that military set, is that what you're looking at or no? I thought of you right away when I saw that. Oops. Otherwise, there's another way you can find it. I just have to click through a couple of the screens. All right. More glue. Ooh, that was lucky I didn't flip it over. This actually kind of looks like a leather, like a chamois, like the old leather chamois. Remind me when we end here, and I'll send you a text message with the sequence I'm getting into it. What did I just do with the black dimensionals? Oh, here's another set. So we're going to put the black ones in the corners. So with this virtual card retreat, we're not only doing the cards, we're doing the insides of the cards and envelopes to all coordinate. So there's a lot going on with the projects. And since I didn't have all of my pre-work done, I was doing some of that while it was live. And then the die cutting in that we kind of do during the virtual event. But the straight cuts for all the card bases and pieces and stuff, those are all numbered and everything. So I got some of that done this morning, but then I was doing some of it during the virtual event. So I got a little behind on a couple of them, but then depending on who was leading them, then I got caught up again. So, and the last one I watched. I was tired. All right, so let's go ahead and lay those together. Oh, there's my other dimensionals too. I don't know why I didn't see them. Did you try going out of your page and back into it, Juju? Logged in as a demonstrator so that it gives you that pop-up? Oh, almost lost that. Okay, good. And then you can pre-order that new tool also if you're interested in something like that. That's going to be available for the join offer, which for those of you who are listening or catching the replay, the join offer that starts February 3rd, I think, has a sweet bonus tool that will be included automatically. All right. I think I got most of them. Just a little bit. There we go. And another adhesive strip. So these use the same card as inspiration, But it's really amazing what a difference in color does for a card layout, don't you think? And then that I'm just going to put right on my little tear there. And we will put some more of these on here. We'll put it up there. So these would definitely be appropriate as masculine cards. And if I was to send this to a woman, you know, like one of my friends, I would probably splatter Wink Stella on it. But I'm going to wait to do the Wink Stella because I don't know who I'll give them to. All right. There we go. So there's our versions. And let me just pull in the catalog. So I was looking at page 38 with Nature Walk. So here's the card we were casing. And here's what we ended up with. Which one do you like better? 1, 2, or 3? Ours are always better because Team Lori collabs. We collaborate. All of our creative juices flowing in the same direction. So you like the catalog one best? So that would have been with those other less organic pieces here. That would have been with these. So that would have been that piece and that piece. And then this piece is just using Pretty Peacock cardstock, not the designer series paper. So that would be there, and that's on crumb cake with some of those stamps on there. And maybe, now I use soft sea foam. I don't know what the recipe called for. But maybe a lemon lime twist with some ink blending on it. With the mossy meadow. I don't know. But I'm going to call it a night. I think they're all really pretty cards. Thanks for chiming in. Whoops. And that's our card from last night. And that's that card. So we'll put this one over here. Nature Walk. Can we see all those? Thanks for hanging out with me, ladies. I appreciate the company, the ideas. And until next time, happy crafting.